Hey, gang. Welcome back to another episode of Andy's Music Vault, The Other Leg. Hot on the heels of a John Anderson and Band Geeks concert, which I saw Saturday night with some dear friends, we have just got another Yes box set release, and that is the 30th anniversary of the 1994 issue Talk, which came out on double LP, white vinyl, and a 4 CD box. Issued by Cherry Red Records, distributed by Cherry Red Records, but put together by a company called Spirit of Unicorn Music. Now, the Talk album is a really interesting one in the Yes canon because it's came out at a really weird time for music, especially older acts in the 90s. Even people like Paul McCartney weren't doing well. They weren't having blockbuster number ones, and that was Paul. Yes, it was the height of like grunge and West Coast, East Coast rap, gangster rap. So, a 25-year-old prog rock band dropping an album in the middle of the 90s with the likes of the Smashing Pumpkins and all those other relative bands of the 90s and U2 kind of just evaporated from time. It's nice that this album is celebrated 30 years later with some bonus cuts, a second disc of demos, and the third and fourth disc is a live show from New York, upstate New York, in June of 1994. Almost 30 years ago to the day. I'm not going to try to pronounce that city because I always get it wrong. Canandaigua, I think, is the city of New York. It's not a full show. I think the first song was cut off, which was Perpetual Change. But I'm going to give you an overview of the box set. It's not a lavish box set like some of the other ones have been, like any of the Who ones or the McCartney ones. It was just very plainly delivered from the UK in a box, and I actually ordered it through Burning Shed, and it was a really good deal. It was less than $80 for the 4 CD and the double LP that you get here. And I'll have photos that I cut to when I present, the album to you. But here's just a little quick look here, right? Very nice. White vinyl, very appropriate. You see over my shoulder there, I have another vinyl copy. That's not an original from 94. That thing goes for big bucks. An original from 94 goes for like $200 or more on eBay. That is a 2015 or 16 reissue from the label Music on Vinyl. Peter Max was the artist who did the artwork for Yellow Submarine. So he was commissioned to do the very plain artwork for the 1994 album Talk, which reunited the 80s version of Yes. And there are some really great liner notes in here written by Jerry Ewing of Prog Magazine in the UK, reproduced here on vinyl and also in the CD booklet that gives you an overview of where Yes was at in the late 80s, coming into the 90s. Yes was practically dead after 1980 with the Drama album. Trevor Horn comes back into Yes and puts them into the stratosphere with their best-selling album of all time, 90125, and On of a Lonely Heart. Then goes through, 4 years of success and follows it up with Big Generator in 87, which didn't do so well. John Anderson was not a fan of that record. He splits off to do Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe. Trevor Horn, Chris Squire, and Alan White continue, but do nothing. They maybe recruit Roger Hodgson for a little while. Then both camps get together and go on a huge union tour of 8 guys in 1991. And then it fractures again. Rick Wakeman was supposed to be on this album, as I read in the liner notes, but management, which was always changing and always looking at the almighty dollar, he walked. So it went back to the 80s lineup. And Trevor Rabin has stated, then and now, that he thinks Talk is the best album that he produced while he was with the band, and I don't disagree. Despite 90125 being a great album and On of a Lonely Heart being on there, the Talk album is fresh, it's loud, it's almost like arena rock in a way. It's very loud. It was also pretty controversial at the time because it was one of the first albums recorded all digital on a Macintosh. Yes, I said Macintosh because that's what they were called back in the day. I read in the liner notes, it took up 34 gigs of space, which in 2024 we hear that and go, oh, that's nothing. 30 years ago, that was towers and towers and towers of machines. That cost a lot of money. So it was an interesting way to do it. I love the record. I've listened to it once since getting it the other day. Some really great tracks on here, and that's tying in with just seeing John Anderson's great because he played The Calling from this album, which is the lead-off track with the Band Geeks, which I might do another video on that separately with my friends who I went with. But that was great to see him do The Calling. Yes, he had a teleprompter. I don't care. It was fantastic, and the band was tight. And I'm going to go see him again at some point this summer. Hearing that concert experience, and then having Talk on my doorstep was really, really awesome. So I'm going to cut away now and give you an overview of the box set and accompanying pictures, vinyl, and CD. So here we have the box set, CD, and the LP. Nicely. Back of the box. The front cover again. There we go. And the nice side panel view of the box, which all you collectors like to look at for your shelves. Very uniform. There is all the CDs in the box right there, nicely tucked in. The back of the main jacket of the main LP. Here is the Talk demo disc and the versions that you get of the demos and the radio edits, etc. And there's disc 1 of the live show from New York. Again, very basic, bare bones, not a whole lot of, there's no booklet for the live show, but the sound quality is good. I listened to it. It's from a soundboard. So there's the track listings from the live concert. The spine for the vinyl LP for you vinyl purists. There you go. There's the gatefold cover. There she is. Side 1 of the white vinyl. Clean, baby. Very clean. Played it just tonight. Sounded very good and not a pop, not a hiss. Overall good quality. Really good quality. There's the special version. There's some of the sleeves on the vinyl. Here's some of the liner notes of the book. It was like a renaissance. Yeah. There's John talking about Endless Dream. And again, more liner notes from the book. There, Trevor talking about John crying. And one of my favorite photos from this whole era right here. These guys, it's a promotional photo. I just love John rocking out. Chris with the tall bass. One of my favorite photos from the Trevor Rabin era right there. Love it. So there you have it. Again, not a huge elaborate package, okay? Nice liner notes, 4 CDs housed in a basic slipcase. You know, not a ton of meat and potatoes. The demos are okay. I haven't listened to all of them yet, but having the live recordings on here officially are great because you're getting most of the album live as they did it back at the time. And then really encapsulating a really, again, rare period in Yes's history. And I think, I think it's already sold out on Burning Shed, but you can get it on Amazon. And I mean, the white vinyl is just classic. That goes hand in hand. And I'm glad it's out. I'm glad the record company, thought to put it out. It did not get a whole lot of hype. I remember seeing it on the Yes social media pages, but it didn't really get a whole lot of or endorsement by the band for it. But there are current interviews with John Anderson and Trevor Rabin in the liner notes. And they both still stand by it in 2024. I mean, Endless Dream, which closes the album, John Anderson ranks that up there with any of the Yes classics from the 70s, Close to the Edge or Awaken. And it's Trevor's attempt at really doing the Yes 70s Yes sound with a 90s band. So I give him a lot of respect for that. And it's just a good record. It's one that really kind of gets forgotten. I think I like it better than Open Your Eyes, but it's here. And I'm happy we have it. And if you are a Yes fan and you don't have it, go get it because it is certainly worth the efforts that the band did to produce this album, considering it just got lost in the shuffles 30 years ago. But it's out again now, and I really encourage you to go get it. Talk, 30th Anniversary Edition. That'll be it. Stay tuned. I'll probably have a review of the Band Geeks concert at some point. If not, something else. Stay tuned, perhaps with the former leg David Gargolino as well. And stay tuned to Two Legs, as we'll have a new episode dropping this week as well. Be good, everybody. Take care. Bye.